Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday the 28th of October 2019, and this Monday is a new moon, I believe, and we've drawn the moon card for the whole week. Now in Rorik we've got a very modern version of the moon. We've got the moon there and we've got a female with her head in her hand and a sense of bright light over her brain. So again, that can show that although the moon can sometimes be a negative card, that it also has the potential for enlightenment. Now generally, as I say, I actually really quite like the moon card because it, I love the time where I feel more in tune, more mystical, and that tends to happen at different phases of the moon with me. Now we have a new moon or the dark of the moon, and that means that we don't see the moon, and it's not that it's not there anymore, it's just that we're not seeing it, and then we are in complete darkness. And then as the moon comes back, she throws shadows. Well, she throws a light on and then we get shadows. So this week we're at a period where it's the dark of the moon, and for most of the week. And that means that we're not really going to see what's going on in the background. But neither, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday onwards, we might start to see enlightenment and things that have been held back from us. And that can only be a good thing. But what I would say in general is watch out for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that to be very aware that all may not be what it seems, particularly in the bigger picture of the world. You could get told something on the news and just don't take it as real at all. It could be, but have a degree of I'm not sure, I'll watch out, or go dig in other places. So the moon in the world can lead to things being hidden and a bit of deceit. But as we go forward with this week, we'll start to get a light thrown, and therefore there are shadows, but we can see certain facts, certain things coming out. At the new moon and also the full moon 2 weeks later, we can all feel very, very edgy and very open and very mystical, which is wonderful. But it does mean that if we take that into mass consciousness, then that's great. But it means that all the empaths and clairvoyants or whatever I'll be even more in tune with things, and that is great. I'm not saying it's not an incredible time to send healing, to do any readings you want to do or whatever about the world or about your own specific place in the world. These are all great things, but remember, when you're so open, there can come that exhaustion that comes with it. And I know personally that particularly at a new moon, I always feel quite done in. So watch out for that. Generally, those of you that are empathetic, have some barriers up, ground yourself, okay? Also, in the bigger picture, we can see things like neurosis, narcissistic behaviour, a feel towards depression, anxiety, and all sorts of mental health things being kicked up because of the moon card. Now, individually, I'll go into that in a minute, but if you can think of that in the world stage where there's bad actors as such, be aware that there'll be a kind of neuroticness, and because of that, I believe that the moon card can bring a bit of extra danger for world leaders, being neurotic and responding more emotionally than intellectually, okay? So I say I like the moon. I do, but it's because I understand her and I can work with her. But let's just look at in general terms as to what the moon will bring, say, in career this week. In career, again, you might find that you start the week feeling quite exhausted, but also in some way raring to go. This new moon can be different for very individuals. Some people are all systems go at a new moon, but also because of that, they actually sort of grind to a halt. I've found in my situation and looking around other people that I know that are empathetic, that they actually are quite open and want to do things and are almost edgy. And then all that edgy energy just floors them by midweek or by the weekend. So at job, you might find that people are edgy with one another. They're not saying what they mean. They're also, it brings out a bit of a, no, I'll not tell that person that thing. And that's okay, as long as it's not a part of the job where someone is saying, well, if they don't know that, they'll look stupid. I'll just keep that to myself. And there can be a meanness associated with the moon card at its worst. People can take it as like, oh, I can hide that and nobody will ever find out. Remember, karma, it does come around, what goes around, or whatever way that's said. So at work, what I would say is try and make sure your own energies are contained and honourable and precise, and that way you'll tend not to attract the attention of all the mad energies that are round about, and that can only be a good thing. It doesn't bring necessarily much progress. It doesn't mean that there's new jobs, new careers or whatever. If anything, a moon week tends to be acknowledged that you might be more tuned in and very much more intuitive, but also that there can be angst energies going on in the background. So if you are at work, grab a big amethyst crystal and put it on your desk. If we look at health, again, the moon has an effect on the tides, and the tides have an effect, the moon has the effect on the tides, and that's seen as emotional stuff and also mental. Emotions could be in flux in the week ahead, and we could be all over the place. Also, those of you that retain fluid could find that you're retaining more fluid, and things that maybe heart aspects or lungs. People that retain fluid at that time, it can be difficult for other organs in the body. So please make sure you're drinking enough fluid so that you can cleanse things, but also that you know when the time maybe to call the doctor is or whatever. Mentally, it will bring an opening of a sense of anxiousness, possibly a lowness of energy, a depression. Now, if you know this, you can make this a week where you self-care and you look after yourself and you know what you can and cannot do. In a moon week, we shouldn't be saying yes to everything. We should be practicing our no's, and the moon card very much gives you the okay to do